My pop-up camper remodel is finally finished. I'm going to give you a tour of the inside and show you how it turned out. I worked for about a year and a half on projects here and there on my 1993 Starcraft camper. There is not a single surface in this camper that I left untouched. When I shot this video a few years ago, I hadn't yet painted the bottom of the camper, but I have done that now and I gave it a totally new look. You can check out that video linked above. Before we head inside, I want to show you what the inside used to look like when I bought it. All in all, it was in decent shape. The cushions were fine, the floor was fine, the walls were fine. It did have a sink, which I later removed. You'll see that in a minute. And of course, it was just showing its age. Now, unfortunately, the roof was completely filled with water. Thankfully, none of that got inside and damaged any of the interior, but I did have to rebuild the entire roof. I'll link that video above. All right, let's head in and I'll show you how it turned out. So here's a view of the inside. That's one of the beds. That's the king size bed over there. You can see we redid the table. This is just a normal pop-up table. The hole was already there. And so then there was no table when we got it. So we just used edge glued pine boards. That's 1 inch thick. We just rounded off the corners and put a clear coat on top. And then we did the same for this counter here. This is 5/4, so it's a little bit thicker. And then this one over here as well. You can see I redid all the cushion covers. The back is actually the fabric that was already on the backs. And then I just redid the front in drop cloth fabric and then this fabric here. I used... Oops, you can see it sticking Velcro, maybe, to keep it in place. Just heavy duty Velcro there. All right, and then onto this side, here's our kitchen area. The fridge was not here, it was just an ice box, so I found this at an estate sale and it fit just perfectly into the cubby. So it's really just sitting there, and then we put an electrical outlet through that wall and we wired it into the electrical panel over here. So that was a super easy project, and now we have a working refrigerator. The backsplash and the ceiling tiles are facade ceiling panels is what they're called, and they are just glued up. There's a full tutorial on the blog if you're interested in the products I use for that. But this ceiling was completely ruined, at least on this side over here, and now it looks just like new. After we repaired all the structural damage up to the actual roof, we used the panels to just make a cover, essentially, to cover up some of the peeling strand board that was up there. And then here's the other side. So that's a full-size bed. This cushion pulls out and could make a twin-size bed. And then the only project I still haven't finished is the back cushion for this couch area. So there's one more cushion that kind of rests there. These curtains here are lined with blackout fabric on the back. They're just sheets from Walmart. And then I just use the old hooks that I took off the old curtains to make those blackout curtains. So it'll help just keep out some of the light when we need it to. Our last project was here doing the door. So I stenciled on those graphics. We have our camp insignia, and then we have a vintage map of the Chicago area, which is where we're from, on the bottom. And I just used Mod Podge to put that on there. So I'll just do one more scan around the place so you can see it all. It's amazing that it's actually done. I feel like we spent so much time working on it that it's a little strange that it's completely done now.
Oh, and then the floor, I forgot to tell you, was just a peel and stick vinyl, and it's held up fine during the winter and summer. It hasn't expanded and contracted too much, and we're in Chicagoland, so we get pretty cold, and then it gets pretty warm and humid, and we haven't had much problem. So I've read that some people have had trouble with it. It's been a whole year that we've had it, and it's been fine. So hopefully it continues to stand the test of time, but...
Update, 7 years later, the floor is not holding up. Although it's totally staying stuck, the planks are all separating from each other with these gaps. That is not ideal. Obviously, that's due to the temperature fluctuations. So if you live in a place where that happens, we're in Northern Illinois, and that definitely happens, then don't use peel and stick flooring in your camper. All right, let's take one more look around this camper. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments and follow for all things camping, recipes, renovations, and hacks to make camping as comfortable as home.